All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight for this very, very brief yet very, very important and a show that's going to be very, very interesting. I've got a great dating story to share with you folks here tonight. And I'm also going to be answering any questions you have regarding your business or personal success needs in the chat. Before we get to all of that, as always, to make sure everything's rolling smoothly, let me check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that it is rolling well. Give it just a second here. And just another second or so, and we should be all good. All right, we are rolling well. Let me make sure that the YouTube notification has also gone out. And it has. Let me do a sound check real quick. You can all join me here tonight. It's very, very brief, yet very, very important. All right, so I'm going to get right to it because I don't plan on being on too terribly long here. And I don't expect a lot of people to be here tonight. It's a late show. Most people will catch this on the replay. Before I get to the actual story here, Willis was in the chat a little bit ago before I went live, and he says, just stop by to say hi to you and Don. I'm going to crash. Hope you have a good show, Eli. Peace out. Peace out to you as well, Will. Hope all is well, and if you catch the replay, man, blessings to you. Hopefully you're ready to create some greatness with Don, myself, and many other great YouTubers here on this platform. All right, so let's get right to it here, and I'll answer any questions you folks have in the chat. By the way, this is also a members-only live chat, so unless you are a moderator or a paid channel member, you will not be able to chat. You can purchase a members-only live chat membership for as little as $2.99, which will get you just members-only chats. If you want to get the full membership package, including members-only chats and, live stream replays that are members-only or any other pre-recorded content that's members-only, you will need to purchase at least the $4.99 package. You can purchase a higher package than that, but anything above $4.99 will get you the same thing. It's just up to you how much you want to donate to support and or sponsor the channel. All right, let's get right to it. The topic of tonight's show is a 5-year relationship on the rocks plus taking your questions. One more time, a 5-year relationship on the rocks, ? Plus taking your questions. Let's go ahead and switch on over to the browser screen here. I have another great dating story to share with you folks here tonight from one of my favorite social media sites, Reddit. And this is from the subreddit r/relationships. And the title of this posting is I, 23F, 23 female, think I fell out of love with my fiance, 26M, 26 male, after being engaged for a month. One more time, I, 23F, think I fell out of love with my fiance, 26M, after being engaged for a month. And I saw this story earlier tonight from my phone. And it saddens me that this post was deleted by the person who originally posted it. Look at right here. Sorry, this post was deleted by the person who originally posted it. It doesn't appear in any feeds, and anyone with a direct link to it will see a message like this one. It was a great story. Fortunately for me, I still had it open on my phone. I had the Reddit app open on my phone, and I was able to screenshot it. So we're going to do this story because it is a really good one, and it can and will help a lot of people. So let's switch on over to that. There we go. Same thing. This person's username on Reddit is physical-pangolin-62. Interesting name there. Same title. So let's get right to it here. There's 5 screenshots here. I screenshot it this way so it would be big enough to show on your screen. You could tilt it to landscape if you can't see it the normal way. So my fiance and I have been together for 5 years and just got engaged on our anniversary. 5 years, it's a long time. It's a long time to be with someone. So I'm not surprised that you're both finally engaged. It surprised me because we also moved into a new apartment that week as well. Yeah, that's quite a lot to deal with all at once. I'm seeing already where this woman is going with this. Let's continue. He asked my mom prior and told his family before proposing to me, but ever since this happened, I've been getting cold feet. Well, to be fair to the guy here, it's always proper, in my opinion, and in the traditional days, to, ask permission from, the woman's parents, and to talk about it with your own parents as well, and both families, right? So nothing really wrong with that. But as we go further into the story here, you will see she reacts to it, and there's a reason why. But ever since this happened, I've been getting cold feet. So you've been with this guy for 5 years. After 5 years, you finally move in with him. That's quite a long time to wait. If you've been with somebody for a couple of years and you haven't, decided to move in together, it really means that you're not meant to be together. If you're meant to be together, you're going to want to, be closer together, right? It's quite a long time, but these two are pretty young, so I can understand maybe they took a little bit longer, but still, at the 5-year mark, there should be nothing wrong with this if they're both happy in their relationship, right? Jenny Sadler's here. Hey, Jenny, how you doing? Hi, Eli. Glad I caught a live stream. Well, we're glad you're here as well, Jenny. Welcome to the show. Remember, there's a 1-minute delay between what's said here and what goes out to you folks on YouTube. Feel free to also ask any questions in the chat regarding any business or personal needs that you want some thoughts and opinions on. I'd be happy to help in the middle or in between going over this. So she's been getting cold feet. Let's continue here. We've been having very rocky patches over the years. Okay, I wonder why. Most of the arguments consist of me wanting appreciation for the things I've done for him, like financially supporting him through nursing school, planning this whole move basically alone. So it sounds like to me that this woman was really into this guy, really liked this guy, and was trying to help him in many ways. It sounds like this guy, wanted to go to nursing school to become a nurse, to go in the medical field, a pretty prominent field. That's great, right? And because of that, he probably had, less time to work. So she decided to step in and help pay for his schooling. And while I feel it's a very noble thing, I don't think she should have done that. I think that's a little too much. But the fact that she did do it, if she feels like, he's not appreciating it or stating and showing his appreciation, I can understand where she's coming from there, right? But again, she wanted to do this. It's totally on her, right? He isn't one to ever really initiate things, so it was a shock he asked me to marry him. Well, ma'am, I have to ask you this. Why would you want to date a man that never initiates anything? One of the biggest masculine traits, one of the things that makes a man is being a great leader. And a great leader is one that initiates things. So in essence, ma'am, it kind of sounds like you were the one, or you've been the one wearing the pants in the relationship. It kind of sounds like you're the man in the relationship and he's the woman in the relationship. The sexual polarity has flipped. And that's one of the reasons I'll state off the bat why I feel you're having second thoughts, which we're going to get to that, right? You're questioning this, right? He told me he just decided it was the right time to lock it down. Wow, he told you that? Oh, God. Wow. So this dude tells his woman of 5 years, a woman that's been supporting him financially while he goes through nursing school. She also mentions that he never takes initiative. And then she says, on top of all this that he's lacking, he has the nerve to say, I decided to propose to you, babe, because I felt it was the right time to lock it down. God, that sounds so romantic, doesn't it? My God. What's happening to masculinity nowadays? What's happening to men? What is happening to men? I'm not surprised here. I mean, this woman has been trying to really, she likes this guy because he's probably a really decent, down-to-earth dude. He just lacks masculinity. He lacks the leadership that it takes to be a man. Jenny Sadler says, so he finally took the biggest initiative and now she is ready to leave. Not cool in my book. Well, Jenny, you have to understand. There's a reason why he's doing that. I'll get to that. And I think you'll understand more when I mention, or when I share what happens next year. I can understand where this woman's coming from. And I'm a man saying this. Look, I'm a man saying that I feel she's so far she's more right than him. And this guy is a pathetic beta male. That's what he is. He's a beta male. He lacks masculinity. Let's continue. Things were great for a week. Well, I guess after they moved in, right? He really helped me a lot, and we had a lot of sex and enjoyed each other's company. Well, sex is not going to fix everything. It's only one aspect. Mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and then financial too, right? They all have to be in line. And it sounds like only the sex was, in line. Then he started falling back into his old ways of not taking any initiative, right? I've been getting cold and distant and feeling really anxious now that everyone knows I said yes. Well, why did you decide to marry him? Why did you say yes to marrying him if you really didn't want to? Because if you questioned it, if you didn't say yes right away, and you said, I have to think about it or whatever, then, it would probably upset him. He would probably tell his family and your family, and then everyone would question you, right? And I get that. But, it would be better for you to be honest, ma'am, instead of saying yes just to temporarily keep the peace, because eventually, if you don't marry him, it's going to be worse off than it would have been had you said no initially, or said you need more time initially, or whatever, right? At the start of the year, I told him I wasn't sure about getting married anymore because of the issues we were having, and I'd like to wait until a year after we move into this new place to revisit the topic. First time we've lived together alone with actual bills. Okay. Well, after dating someone for 5 years, even if you haven't lived with them, I'm sure that you spent the night at his place several times. He spent the night at your place several times. And both of you should have a good idea of how the other is by now. It shouldn't take another year of living together after being together for 5 years to figure this out. I just think that this guy is not the type of guy you really want to settle down with. He's been a fun guy to hang around with. You probably felt important trying to fix him. You figured, okay, you're both young. He's 26, you're 23. You probably figured, hey, you know what? Let me help him out and see if that, can get him to realize what I feel he's lacking. And that's not the way it works, man. He has to figure that out on his own. And I think you're beginning to realize that. All right, last paragraph here. I feel like now I have a major ick seeing him and don't feel like I love him anymore. I think you left a word out there. So you feel like you don't love him anymore. I'm not sure if this is just fear talking or what. No, ma'am, it's not fear. You are turned off by his lack of masculinity. You're turned off at the fact that you're the leader in the relationship and not him. And I'm not saying that, either one of you has to be the dominant leader. You both need to work together as a team. He's not doing his part, and you feel like you're alone. You're basically running the whole team on your own, right? A man and a woman nowadays, they're a team, right? And if you both aren't equally contributing to the relationship, right, it's not going to work out. But despite that, in any era, past or present, right, because in the modern world, women are liberated, they're independent, they're making their own money, right? Women still, to this day, look up to a man for his strength, okay? His emotional strength, his physical strength, okay? His ability to protect and provide, his ability to take initiative and be a good leader, right? That all embodies masculine energy. And if he's not doing any of that, I'm not surprised that you're turned off by this, right? Now, maybe let it go for a little while because maybe let it go for the 5 years because you've enjoyed the sex. He's fun to hang out with, but you just don't see a future with him. And for a woman, the most important thing is being able to see a future with someone or not. And if a woman can't see a future with you, she will typically leave you, right? And find someone else that she can see a future with or will see a future with, right? Now, she's 23. They've been together for 5 years. So this dude met her when he was 21, because he's 26 now, and she was 18. She was 18 years old. So technically, this dude has, 3 years on her. But to me, it sounds like she's more experienced and more mature than him. And that probably stems from how she was raised. Maybe she had both her parents and was raised very well from a good family. She came from a good family. And maybe he came from a broken household where maybe the father wasn't around and the mother was filling in the role of the father and the mother, right? So maybe this guy was raised in a more feminine way than a masculine way. It is very important for a little boy and a little girl to have both a mother and a father growing up, or you're going to see issues like this. This guy's not behaving masculine. That's the bottom line. That's what turned this woman off. And he's also very irresponsible. He seems very irresponsible to me. Let's continue. Problem is, if this is really the end and nothing changes for me, I'm engaged and stuck in this lease for 11 more months. Does anyone have any advice? Yeah. I have a story to share about this real quick. I once got into a lease with a woman that I thought I was in love with and thought I was going to, end up marrying and be with, right? And, after she moved in with me, she started, this was many, many years ago, she started drinking a lot and just started, destroying our apartment. Now, my credit was very good, was so good, and her credit was crappy. And I should have seen the sign there. But we qualified together. My credit score was so high at that point back in those days that, it offset her crappy credit score, and we were both on the lease. But after a few months of living together, I couldn't tolerate her behavior anymore. It was really bad. She was flat out belligerent, drunk, literally drinking, lots of hard liquor all day, every day. We're talking a lot of hard liquor like to the point of where it probably could have poisoned her, right? I'm glad she's okay now. You know, back in those days, about a year after we split up, she reached out to me, told me everything was okay, apologized for everything, and she got her life back together, and I'm happy for her. But it was a really bad situation, and I had to kick her out. I had to let her go. And so, yeah, she gave me the key and she left. And I tried to get her name off the lease, but it was a difficult thing to do. So I explained to, the apartment company I was living at during that time. And they tried to reach her. They couldn't reach her. And they just said, write a letter explaining what happened, sign it, and we'll remove her off the lease. So there are things you can do. So this woman does have some options. It does depend on, the place that you're renting from, their management, or if it's a private party, it depends on how they're going to handle it. But, if you're able to explain that, hey, I can't be here anymore for this reason, maybe they'll take you off the lease. But here's the thing. What if you're the one paying the majority of the rent, right? If you're the one paying the majority of the rent, then maybe you should kick him out and you live there, right? Because if you leave and the rent is not paid, it will affect your credit too. That's a tough situation to be in. But it got you to realize what you should have probably realized before you moved in with him. It took you moving in with him to start seeing these things. You saw, everything all day, every day. Once you move in with someone, you start to see everything that's been bothering you about them for the last 5 years, all day, every day. And it gets old really, really quick. And you have to decide, hey, can I live with this? Can we sit down and talk about it? Can we work through it? Or is it time to move on? So I get the position you're in. All I got to say is best of luck to you. I've been there before, and I got lucky in my situation. Hopefully you'll find a way. TLDR, we got engaged with a rocky foundation, and I feel more anxious than happy, and we have a year-long lease left still. The bottom line is this. You're turned off by his lack of masculinity. You're turned off by his lack of leadership skills. Okay? You're turned off by his lack of initiative. You probably out-earn him, even though you're younger than him. Sounds like to me he's a pretty selfish guy, letting you pay for his, nursing school. And then, you're still having sex with him, which he's participating because he wants that, right? It sounds like to me, like, I don't know, this guy's pretty entitled, in my opinion. He sounds pretty entitled. Jenny Sadler says, do you think she is giving him mixed messages? No, she's not. She's not. She's being as clear as night and day, Jenny. She's being very clear. I understand exactly what she's going through, right? Now, think about it. She posted this like 6 hours ago. As of the time I'm doing this, it was about 6 hours ago. It popped up on my phone. I'm subscribed to a bunch of Reddit forums. Especially the dating ones. I really love, hearing these dating stories, especially from the younger generation. And about a couple hours after she posted it, she deleted it. Why did she delete it? Because she probably feels bad about putting it out there because maybe her fiance saw it and questioned her about it, right? But honestly, it all makes sense. She's right. She's 100% right. In this situation here, the woman here is 100% right and the man is 100% wrong. And I'm a man saying that. I'm a fair guy, right? But yeah, no, she's 100% right here. And if I had to guess how this is going to turn out is he's going to probably argue her because he's a weak guy. He probably lacks emotional self-control. He probably lacks emotional awareness. If he's a horrible leader, if he does not take initiative on anything, then he probably lacks emotional awareness, which probably also means he lacks emotional self-control. I wonder why she said yes. I mentioned earlier, she said yes because she wanted to avoid a fight. She wanted to avoid, they just moved in. Well, she said yes right before they moved in. Actually, at the same time as they moved in. So he probably proposed to her like once they moved in. So it wasn't exact, but that's what it comes off as. They probably moved in. He proposed to her the next day after that. And that's quite overwhelming. It's quite overwhelming, especially after, a year ago, she was saying that, she's not quite sure if she wants to get married. She wants to live together for a year and see how that's like. So then this guy moves in with her, and then he proposes to her right after they move in together. And he didn't listen to what she was saying, that she wants to see how it goes for a year. She's been basically trying to give this guy a chance to realize what he's lacking and to turn it around. And this guy is it's going over his head. He's just not getting it. He's just not getting it. And here's the thing. I'm going to wrap up by saying this. It's going to be a very short show. We are at 26 minutes. It's going to be a 30-minute show. When it comes to, let me go back to full screen. When it comes to relationships, I've said this time and time again, and I'll continue saying it. Okay? A guy's job is to hang out with a woman, have fun, and hook up. Okay? A guy will set up the date. He'll take the lady out to dinner or something fun, invite her over. They spend the night together. They have great sex, and that's it, right? A guy's job is not to try to lock the woman down or to bring up the relationship. That is the woman's job. It has to be more or completely the woman's idea. It doesn't mean that you don't want to get married. I want to get married. Excuse me. I want to get married. Don't get me wrong. But when I first met my lady Dawn almost 2 years ago, I never tried to lock her down. I knew that she was the one, and I wanted to be with her. And she, from how she appeared back then, she knew I was the one. But all I did was kept on asking her out on dates. We would go hang out. We would have fun, go to dinner, play darts, do some bowling, watch some movies, whatever, right? Do some walks, hook up, have some good loving, and that's it. And then a couple weeks into it, she came and told me, like, I love where this is going, and I don't want this to ever end. And I go, what do you mean by that? She goes, you know what I mean? No, I don't know. You tell me. I knew what she meant, but it has to be her idea. She goes, I want the long-term thing with you. I want you to be the one. She told me that. And I was like, cool. If you're ready to do this, let's do it. But it was her idea. And all I was going to do in the meantime is continue to hang out, have fun, and hook up. Now, we're living together. We're going to get married within a year or so. We're going to plan. We are. We're going to do it right. But we're living together. We moved in together a little over a year after we started dating, right? And what do? We hang out. We have fun. We hook up. But we're also best friends, right? And we're each other's equals. And we respect each other, right? And we both take initiative. I take initiative. She takes initiative, right? And that's it. A man's job is not to try to lock down a woman. A man's job is to hang out, have fun, and hook up. Show the woman a good time. Don't put any pressure on her. Leave that for her. Jenny Sadler says, oh, okay, got it. Well, that's good. I'm glad you got it, Jenny. Awesome. So that's going to do it, folks. Hope you enjoyed this show. It's a 30-minute show on the dot. Pretty cool. And it's 11:51 p.m. Pacific time, 2:51 a.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be off the air before midnight, and I'm going to go spend some time with my lady. And more than likely, I'll be back tomorrow for another show. Let's keep it locked here. Have yourselves a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other.